This is a stupid show.
It's the Cooper and Anthony Show.
So Oreo is celebrating its 110th birthday. So what do? They invented yet another flavor. Okay? Yeah. It's called chocolate confetti cake. It has sprinkles galore. Okay? The cookies themselves are filled with sprinkles. Filled. 2 layers of filling. The signature cream flavor, but it's pumped with sprinkles. And a chocolate cake flavored. Okay? They're like little mini cakes. They're ginormous. I need to tell them to stop. They have over 85 flavors of Oreos. I'm not even joking. Okay, caramel apple, key lime pie, jelly donut. Do we need these? Chocolate strawberry, gingerbread, hot cocoa, kettle corn. No one's looking for kettle corn Oreos. Mississippi mud pie, Peeps. Well, Peeps. Keep Peeps. That's okay. Mint chocolate chip, PB&J, and then of course they always do like surprise ones. Like they had that whole weird flavor for Lady Gaga's Chromatica, which was, really just to kiss the ass of the little monsters. Let's see, there's carrot cake, there's dark chocolate, there's buttercream, there's cherry cola Oreos. There's the Halloween one. There's, let's see, bits of fudge dipped. There's latte, pistachio, pina colada. It goes on and on. Nobody needs this many flavors of Oreos. I'm sorry. We do not need this many flavors.
You know what? When you walk down that aisle at the store, divert your eyes and just get the regular Oreos. You don't have to be mad because they make all different types of Oreos. Just don't look at them. Don't buy them. Don't look at them. Just buy the regular Oreos and move on your merry way. If they want to make $28 billion, it has nothing to do with you. Just as long as you get your Oreos.
Okay, dude, it's not just the Oreos. The M&Ms have gotten out of hand.
As long as they make the original, then we're good. If they stop making the original and come up with something else that's stupid, then we have an issue.
M&M's just announced they have a new flavor for Valentine's Day. Yet another flavor of M&M's. It's going to be Black Forest cake.
Ooh.
Okay, wait, in an M&M? Okay, I was okay with the milk chocolate and the peanut. Those are the original. But then they introduced peanut butter. And I'm like, those are Reese's Pieces. That's not, you already make those. Fudge brownie, pretzel, caramel, crispy, almond, dark chocolate, minis, coffee nut, mint chocolate chip, white chocolate, mega peanut. Stop it.
They're just getting greedy now.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
Right. Nobody's looking for more. And you wonder why we have an obesity problem in this country. And here's why it's really stupid. Because there was a book that was written a couple of years ago. It was like this pivotal book, really big in the world of psychology. It made it to the bestsellers list. And it was called The Paradox of Choice. And the book was about the fact that when we have too many choices, we end up not making one because we feel like the choice we make is the wrong choice because there's so many choices. If I gave you 2 choices, 50-50, you would choose one and you'd be able to go on with your life and you would never look back and be like, did I make the right choice? No, it's one or the other. You chose one, move on. But if I gave you like 10 choices and you made a choice, you would forever be wondering if the other 9 choices would have been better for you. And that's why there's too many cereals. There's too many M&Ms. Stop making flavors of Special K, for example. I don't need 90 million flavors of Special K. Just give me Special K. I'll put strawberries in if I want to. Like, let me be in charge of my own strawberries. You know what I mean?
The problem is there's limited space at the store for, let's say they have this much space for M&M. So Almond Joy did it right. You can either choose from one or the other. Almond Joy or Mounds. They didn't have anything different. So they have enough space for that.
Exactly. Almond Joy and Mounds did it right. Do you want nuts? Do you not? Here are your 2 options.
They made a song for it. Almond Joy's got nuts, Mounds don't. Because sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes. So they did it. They did a song stuck in your head, and now you know which one has nuts and which one doesn't.
Right, but they're not. Mounds is not trying to bring me mint chocolate chip flavored Mounds. No, Mounds is Mounds, and leave me alone with all the flavors. It's too much.
Well, my problem is now at stores, if you just want an M&M, just a bag of M&Ms, you can't because everything is king size. Everything is king size. So I pick up the M&Ms like, this is family size. I don't want family size M&M. I just want, I don't know, 15 M&Ms in a bag. But I don't know where the regular size is anymore because it's huge. And it's $2 now. It used to be 59 cents, but now it's like $3 for a huge bag. I don't need that many M&Ms. Nobody does.
Well, that's the problem. So when you go to the counter and they have the candy right under the counter, there's the little bag of M&Ms and it's $2.25. But then the family size is $3. So for 75 cents more, you get 90 million M&Ms in case, I don't know, at some point in the future, or if the world explodes and it's a nuclear holocaust, you'll at least have M&Ms around.
It's unnatural. It's an abomination. You were the hermaphrodite cheerleader from Long Island?
Oh,
no! It's Cooper and Anthony.
You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. You're grade A, number one, bona fide, first class. You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. And you'll be one all your dumbass life.
You never run out of dumbass stories.
I was going to say, when is it not with dumbass time?
Yeah, this is the next level dumbass now.
Okay. We've graduated.
Yes. So a woman dropped off her 10-month-old dog, Lucky, at the groomers. So she took the dog to the groomers and she said, all right, go ahead and cut Lucky and make him look good and I'll pick him up later. So she goes, picks up the dog a little bit later. She's driving home. So she looks down at the dog. Here's the look the dog is giving her.
He's just pissed. He's mad.
It's not her dog.
Oh, my God. They gave her the wrong dog?
And the dog she's going,
who are you?
So,
where's my mommy and daddy?
So it took her like 24 hours to figure out this is not her dog.
Oh, my God.
Are we getting to this point now?
That dog is like 11, so she didn't even realize that her 10-month-old puppy is not an 11-year-old dog. What a dumbass.
Yeah, so then she had to go back and she said, I don't think this is my dog. He doesn't talk, but he looks really pissed off. So I think you need to give me my dog. So how can you not know it's not your dog?
That's ridiculous. I know there's a lot of dogs that are similar, and then when you get them clipped, they have similar looks, so I understand. But you can tell the difference, and you should be able to tell the difference between a 10-month-old puppy and this obviously like 15-year-old dog who's pissed.
No, when you go to pick up your dog, if your dog is not happy to see you and going out of their mind that they're happy, it might not be your dog.
Right. And if you say Lucky and it doesn't answer, if you say Lucky and something else in the back room barks, it's not your dog.
Also, the new thing now, to cure COVID, drinking your own urine.
No, that was just one dumbass guy. It's not the new thing.
It's a whole thing
nobody's
now.
doing that.
It's a whole thing. People are detoxing for months, drinking their own pee. They're asking how to do it. When is the best time?
Me?
No, it's a whole thing now that's going on Twitter. What color pee is the best pee? Should I use my morning pee? Do you have any magic pee recipes?
Pee recipe.
You need pee recipes. If I hold my pee under my tongue, will it cure COVID?
Oh, God. I can't believe this is real. This is such dumbassery. I saw that one anti-vaxxer, I don't know, politician guy, whoever he is, not a politician, was some anti-vaxxer guy that was saying you can drink your own pee to cure COVID, and everybody's making fun of him. I didn't realize that there are people that are following him who are like, tell me more.
This is a whole thing. Drink your own pee to be free of the vaccine. That's one person saying this. Can urine cure COVID? And
Jesus.
Why am I breaking out in this weird rash?
Okay, here's what I have to say about it. My stepbrother and sister-in-law My sister-in-law is an oncologist, and my stepbrother is a cancer researcher. And whenever anyone asks them about ways to cure cancer other than science, like people that say, what about vitamins? What if I eat more tofu? What if I just laugh more, or I'm just positive? And they both always say the same thing. They're like, hi, if we can cure cancer by having you laugh more or eat more tofu, believe me, we would do it. We don't want to give you chemo and all these terrible pills and things that are probably making you sicker than the cancer. We don't want to give you that. If it actually cured cancer, we would do that in a heartbeat. We would all invest in tofu. Soy and tofu would be the most expensive thing on the planet. But so if urine cured COVID, we would have heard about it. Fauci would have said something. That would be a real thing.
People are putting urine in neti pots.
Good. You know what? Let them. These are the same people that drank bleach. Drink your bleach, drink your urine, and good luck to you, and just stay the hell away from me.
They're putting it in their nose.
Again, you know what? If you're that stupid and you end up in the emergency room because you're that stupid, I don't have sympathy for you.
I have cancer on my face. Can I put urine on it? Yes, of course, but make sure the urine is aged.
Like a fine wine. This urine. Oh, this is 1992. Oh, yes. This has perfect tannins.
Add pee with your coffee.
This is so gross that I can't believe there's this many gross people.
Do I need to take supplements, or is pee all I need?
If you're that dumb, pee's all you need. Pee is all you need. I think it's a Beatles song about that.
If I take prescription drugs and drink my own urine, am I getting a second dose of the meds? There's a good question.
Well, I'll tell you why that's weird. Because you're taking prescriptions, which obviously came from your doctor who believes in science. So on one half, you believe in science. On the other half, you think urine is going to cure cancer. So why don't you, or COVID, why don't you go ahead and call the doctor who gave you the prescription and see what they have to say about it?
I'm trying urine now in a syringe.
This is all bots. This can't be actual people.
This is actual people. It goes on and on and on about this is the new thing now. Yeah.
All right. Do you have more dumbasses for us?
No, this is all the dumbasses for the day.
Well, okay, because there was one more that I thought you were going to hit. Once you said 10-month-old and you went puppy, I thought you were going to talk about the couple in Germany who were getting on. So in Germany, they have a train, like a fast train, like one of those trains that just zooms from one place to the other. They were getting on the train in Dusseldorf. And the guy has an 11...
Doesn't exist.
What?
Dusseldorf. That's where Harry Potter lived.
Doesn't sound like a real place. Okay, so Harry Potter was getting on the train, and he strapped his 11-month-old baby into its little, I don't know, baby carriage thing. You know, those little baby Bjorn carriage, whatever's those strollers. Mm-hmm. You can tell I'm not a mother. What's the thing called? A stroller? So he puts the baby in the stroller. He gets on the train. He gets a seat. He puts the baby on the seat, and gets all settled in, and then realizes that he's waiting for his wife and she's not going to know which car they're in. So he steps off the train to wait for the wife, except the train doors closed and the train left.
Oh, no.
With the baby
It's a
on
Friends
board.
episode.
11-month-old baby, it was a Friends episode. 11-month-old baby on a train in Dusseldorf, speeding on a bullet train to, I don't know, Munich, wherever they were going next. So he realizes this. He obviously can't stop the train. He finds his wife. They get in a cab and they do one of these, I guess in German, follow that train. Follow ein Trainer. Follow ein Train. And they follow the train, and the train stops at the next stop, and they go flying up onto the train. And they caught the train at the next stop. They were able to drive fast enough when they explained, I'm assuming in German, to the cab driver what happened.
Yeah, I can imagine the guy who takes your ticket is pissed. He's like,
Wait a minute, this baby didn't pay.
ticket, please. Ticket.
You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. You're grade A, number one, bona fide first class. You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. And you'll be one all your dumbass life.
Name the one you have chosen.
Goes by the name of
It's Cooper and Anthony. People are going on BuzzFeed now and sharing what they do for a living and how much they make and how long they've been at that job. So it's total transparency.
I like the idea of talking about how much they make. You know, my friends and I talk about this, that you should share your salary, how much you make with other people, so they get a sense of if they're getting paid properly.
Yeah, so people can go on and say, I live here. I've been doing this job for X amount of years. This is how much money I make. So they don't have
that's
to
great.
So they don't have to say their name. They can be totally transparent and you can
And
see
anonymous.
and you can see what people actually make. So a meteorologist in Wasco, Texas, 4.5 years of experience. How much do you think she makes?
Meteorologist in a local TV station, $62,000.
52. Very good.
Oh, it was close.
New York City, liquor sales rep, female, 8 years experience.
92,000.
78.
Oh, well, then she's not very good at it, because I have a friend that does that, and he does specifically just wine, and he clears about $100,000 a year.
In Ohio, healthcare management, 2 years experience, no degree.
30,000.
80.
What?
Yeah.
No degree?
No degree.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Okay, what else?
Teacher in New Hampshire, 6 years experience, 2 years in a school and master's degree. How much?
Okay, a year she makes about $4.28.
42,000.
Okay, I was close.
That's nothing.
Bupkis.
That's
Yeah.
nothing.
The liquor salesman makes more.
Yeah, pharmaceutical chemist I thought would make more in North Carolina. 52,000 a year.
Oh, yeah, I would think that would make more. Okay.
Yeah, a chemist, nurse, 42 years old in Ohio, 22 years experience.
Whoa. 70?
77.
Okay, I was gonna say 72 for some reason, but 77. Okay, isn't that weird? Like, think about what she just went through with COVID, having to deal with more patients, and I mean, she was definitely in a worse situation after 22 years.
22 years experience.
Yeah, you should make more than that after 22 years, but okay.
This guy in Austin, Texas, 6 years experience is a sales rep, and he says lots of hair loss. So how much is he making as a sales rep in Austin?
I mean, that's a hard thing, because what is he selling?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's tough. How many years has he been doing it?
He's been doing it 6, so he makes about a $120 a year. But he's lost a lot of hair, he says.
Yeah.
So I can see most sales reps with that many years experience, you're making 6 figures.
Again, depends what you're selling.
San Diego, Senior Director of Operations, 18 years experience.
Oh, that person's making like $325.
$598.
Whoa, $598. I knew it was going to be up there. Wow.
Yeah. How about a school counselor in Indiana, 2 master's degrees, 13 years experience.
I'm going to say maybe 50,000.
49. Very good.
Okay. In the teaching field, they don't get paid enough for what they do. None of them. And this is somebody with 2 master's degrees and still doesn't get paid enough.
Lady who owns a French bakery in Pennsylvania, 20 years experience.
Oh, who knows? Like, I mean, that could be a lot of money. That could be nothing.
Yeah, $40,000 a year, but she's paying off a loan that's $100,000. So,
oof. Yeah, that's rough.
23-year-old female waitress in Indiana.
Waitresses don't make very much.
40 grand.
Well, no, but see, that's 20 grand.
40.
I've worked, I waited tables for years and I bartended. I've done all that stuff in restaurants, and there's some restaurants that are packed and really, really busy. And those I made like $90,000 a year easy. And I worked like maybe 3 days a week. It was awesome. And they had other jobs that I worked my butt off and I made like 60.
Right.
So, but they were like, I just worked lunch. So it depends it depends is the answer to that
independent claims insurance adjuster, 1 year experience in Tampa.
Is that a high paying job?
I don't know. I mean, you're going around and looking at a house and saying how much the insurance should pay.
Oh, after a year, you're probably not making very much.
150.
What?
Yeah, but no benefits. But still, 150.
That's great. I'll pay for my own insurance. No problem.
Software sales in New York City. 34-year-old, 7 years experience.
Well, if you're living in New York, it has to be six figures.
Yeah, 165.
Yeah, there you go.
So she's making good money. All right,
Yeah.
27-year-old female hairstylist, salon owner, and educator.
Okay, so I'll tell you why that's tough. I've got friends that own salons. It depends on what you pay yourself. It depends on what your overhead is, how expensive your rent is, how many employees you have. But I think a lot of those people try to give themselves at least $100,000 a year salary.
Yeah, she's making 200.
It's another one of those that are like, it depends. A lot rides on that.
See, and this is good money. Travel nurse. So she travels to different places. Right now, I bet she's making bank.
Yeah.
You know, but this was 4 days ago. She's been doing it for a year and a half. She makes $5,000 a week.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And you travel.
Yeah, that's the downside. I wouldn't want to travel. I mean, she gets in her car and goes from house to house, or she's got to fly from Indiana to Florida.
Yeah, I think that's Indiana to Florida, wherever you're needed.
I see.
All right. Customer service at an airline, 13 years experience.
That doesn't pay very well.
Fly for free. She makes $33 an hour.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
And last but not least, attorney, 26 years old, 1 year experience. How much does she make?
What city?
Yeah, it doesn't say.
See, attorneys here in New York, when you're first starting out, you start out with a salary of like $275.
Oh, well, she lives in a small city because she's making $44,000 a year.
Well, there you go.
I'll turn it off. This girl is the nastiest skank bitch I've ever met. Do not trust her. She is a fugly slut.
The Cooper and Anthony Show.
So have you ever been in this situation where someone's doing the pay it forward thing? I know you go to Starbucks a lot and you get on that line, the car line. You ever get stuck in the pay it forward thing? The car line. You ever get stuck in the pay it forward thing?
No, and I'm so glad I don't, because I wouldn't. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day that got stuck in that line, and they were only buying one cup of coffee, and the person behind them had like five, and they were, they had to pay it forward. That pisses me off.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough thing. And it's like, it started at Starbucks a while back. I don't even know the history of it. I think I used to know it. I forgot because I just don't care. But so it started at Starbucks, and now it's become a thing that you'll drive up to a Starbucks and you'll go to pay your coffee and they'll say, oh no, the car in front of you just paid. So now it's up to you to then pay for the car behind you.
I can't stand that. I know,
right,
but
I know.
I'm going to I'm going to grab the coffee and say, thanks, have a nice day.
Well, this one particular Starbucks was really on a roll. Okay. They had already gone, it was a 23 car pay it forward streak. So think about that. There were 23. So somebody started it and it kept going for 23 cars straight.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets to this one dude who goes on TikTok, and he's on there as I'm blessed 55, in case you want to see. He's got over 66,000 100,000 followers, and this particular video I'm going to tell you about, because it's one of those things where he used music and he just used words, so you have to watch it rather than hear it. It's already had like 150,000 views since it was posted. So he gets on there and they say, oh yeah, there's a whole pay it forward thing going, 23 cars, you're number 24, the person in front of you paid for you. He's like, yeah, but I got one coffee for $6. What does the person behind me have? Oh, they have an order for $46. He's like, I'm not paying $46. I'm not paying somebody's $46 coffee.
Yeah.
No, sorry, that's not happening. Like, it's nice that the person in front of me paid $6, which is not a lot of money, but still very nice of them. But there's a big debate going on now on TikTok. People are saying, well, you didn't have to break the streak. You could have just said, I'm not paying the full 46, but I will pay 6. I'll pay for what my coffee cost, and you can just take that off their bill. This way they'll just pay 40, and then I haven't broken the streak. And then other people are saying exactly what you said, like, fuck this, that's not my problem.
I don't know. I don't know how I would deal with that, because 99% of the time when I go to Starbucks, I pay with a Starbucks card because I have so many gift cards.
Right.
So, but if I'm paying cash and she said somebody paid, can you pay? I would give the girl a $6 tip.
Oh, so instead of paying it forward $6 towards the person behind you, since your coffee is now basically free, you would just give the girl a $6 tip.
The barista now gets a $6 tip. But,
right.
But my card, I have $25 gift cards.
Right.
I got probably 10 of them. So I'm not giving you 2 of my gift cards to pay for some asshole that bought their whole office coffee. Not going to happen.
That's the problem with that. And, for someone like me, it never works out. Never works out, because I don't eat at Starbucks. There's nothing there I can have, because of my million health issues. And you know how high maintenance I am to begin with anyway. So this always happens to me. Like when I go out to dinner with a big group of people, and they'll say like, oh, they'll do one of two things. Either they'll say, we'll get it this time, you get it next time. The problem with that is you just had a bottle of wine. Like we have this one particular couple that we do this with, and they have started just paying for their own stuff. We get 2 separate checks now because they realized they always get a bottle of wine that they split. Joe doesn't drink wine, my boyfriend. He doesn't drink wine. I don't drink alcohol at all. So I usually just end up getting water. I don't eat meat. I can't eat a lot of food, so I never get an appetizer. So I usually just get a salad, sometimes some salmon, but like, some sad little thing. These friends of ours, they always get an appetizer. They always get a big entree that's like steak or lobster. They always get dessert. Always. The dessert is their favorite part. And they get like 2 or 3 to share, and again, I can't have any of that stuff, so I eat none of it. And then they either say, okay, so there's 4 of us, so the bill is $75 each. What? I just had a tiny little salad with a sad little piece of salmon on it and water. So, and every time I get in this situation, the people always say, oh, well, it'll even out next time we go out. No, it's never going to even out for me. I don't eat meat and I don't drink alcohol and I can't eat a lot of food. Like I have a tiny little system.
Right.
So it never, ever. Yeah. So I hate these situations where somebody expects you to split a bill, pay for them, pay next time, pay it forward. Just, mind your own beeswax. I'll pay for me, you pay for you, and then find another way to do good things for the world.
Every Thursday when I worked at one of my radio stations, me and 2 other people would go out to lunch every Thursday, and we would go to the same place. Mm-hmm. We would go to Cabo Fish Taco because it's freaking awesome. But the 3 of us would get the same exact thing every Thursday. So one Thursday, one person would pay, then the next, and so on. But I think that's fair because it's the same price every time.
Right. That makes more sense. You just take turns paying.
If you're going with somebody who gets the $30 lunch instead of the $10 lunch, that's not fair.
Right. I know, I'm saying, but like the fact that the other person doesn't recognize it or has no problem with it. Like I can't tell you how many friends I've had, I do in air quotes right now, how many friends I've had who are like, it'll work out next time, or I'll get it next time. What? I got to now pay an extra $95 for your bottle of champagne. Like, I'm never going to drink champagne.
Can you imagine if this happened in 2019? You haven't been in a restaurant in 2 years because of COVID. So now you forget who was the last one to pay. You know, it's been 2 years. I don't even remember.
That's a good point. Well, we remember there was like that 1 week that everybody was vaccinated and we didn't know about Delta yet. And we were like, oh my God, it's over. And we were actually allowed to go to restaurants and not wear masks. There was that 1 week where it was like, it's over. We're free. We went out to dinner every night that week with all different people. And we were smart because we let them pay. So here we are like 2 years later and they're not going to remember that, you know, it's our turn.
No, and we're never going to have that week again. That week is never coming back. We're never going to be just like, it's over. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. Now there's 3 people at my job that have it.
Well, do they have the Omicron? Do you know? Like, what are their symptoms? Are they
fucking know. I don't know. I don't ask. I don't care. I hide. It doesn't matter if it's I don't.
Are they hospitalized or how sick are they?
I don't know. There, 2 of them are not even there.
Are they people that had COVID before?
No. And one is a huge anti-vaxxer.
Oh, well, there you go.
And she's been out. She's going to be out all week. But I'm just, it's so, it gets to be so bad sometimes.
I can't believe that you know and work with anti-vaxxers. I can't believe that there's people like that out there.
Half of the place that I work at are anti-vaxxers. Half of them.
I can't believe, there's a politician here in New York that is refusing to get vaccinated. So every time they have to do a vote, she has to do it remotely because they won't let her in Congress or the Senate or whatever. I forget whether she's a congresswoman or a senator. I think she's a congresswoman. They won't let her in because you can't, you have to be, you're a government employee, you have to be vaccinated. And she's refusing. Well, what she's saying is she's like, I'm not going to say whether I'm vaccinated or not. It's like, but they're not letting you in Congress. So clearly you're not vaccinated. And she's using all the terminology. It's my body, my choice. You can't tell me what to do. That whole thing. So, and this is New York. It's like, hi, here in New York, 92% of us are vaccinated. So I don't think anyone's going to vote for you the next time around because you sound like a dumbass. And every time they interview her, they make her sound she is bananas. They don't have to make her sound bananas. She goes up, she talks about herself in the third person.
Today I went into an auto parts store. I had to buy one thing real quick, run in, run out. So when I was walking in, the 2 guys in the parking lot, no mask. And they're looking at me like I have 6 heads because I have a mask on. I'm putting a mask on as I get out of my car. And then I walk into the store. There's 10 people in there. 3 of them work there. None of them have a mask on.
I didn't realize that you don't have a mask mandate where you are.
No,
it's so weird,
nobody wears one. They wouldn't put up with it. They would not put up with it. They couldn't handle it. I can't tell you, the whole day I was out today, I don't think I saw one person with a mask on.
It's so crazy because here it's the complete opposite. You can't go anywhere. If you walk in without a mask, they turn you around and push you right out the door.
So I got to get into the mindset of the guy sitting behind the counter at the auto parts store today. How many different people does he see in one day? Maybe 150. And he's not wearing a mask.
He really wants COVID.
I think that's what it is. I don't understand.
Or he already had it and he feels like now he's, superhuman. Like he can't get it again. If he had the first one, if he had the original COVID or if he had Delta, he can get Omicron again. But if he just had Omicron, that's the thing. They're saying the people that are he's not vaxxed, I'm assuming too.
No, there's no way.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Okay, if you're triple vaxxed and you had Omicron, you have super immunity for, I think they said 2 months. You're good for 2 months. So,
but
I'm like a
why
month
would you
into
be
it.
at your job behind a counter with 150 people a day coming in there, and you don't know where these people came from? You don't know what kind of sewer they just crawled out of. I'm telling you, the people that go to auto parts stores, they're not the cleanest people in the world.
You know, you forget that there's people out there that eat junk food and they smoke and they drink too much and they don't take care of themselves. They don't really care about their health and longevity. You assume that everybody has the same attitude you do, where they want to live and they want to be healthy. Not everybody feels that way. Some people really don't care. And a lot of people are fatalists. They just feel like, well, it's fate. You know, if I'm meant to die, if I'm meant to get sick, you know, it's God's will or it's meant to be or whatever. And they just eat what they want and they drink what they want and they smoke what they want and they don't care.
See, what is this?
Sounds like something I heard before.
It's the Cooper and Anthony Show.
You know, my mother never listens to the show, so we started playing those bits. Is Cooper's mother listening? Just sort of, you know, screwing with her a little and seeing if she's listening. If she was, you know, then she would call in and defend herself, and she never did.
Right.
So we assumed she wasn't listening. Well, guess what?
You mean like this one right here, Cooper?
Let's see if Cooper's mom is listening.
My mom has a fur coat. She killed all the animals with her bare hands.
Cooper's mom, if you're listening, call now, 877-6-COOPER.
Cooper Lawrence Show.
That one?
Yeah, that's the one. That's one of many that we ran. And she never called in. So, you know, clearly she did kill all the animals with her bare hands.
Right.
Because she didn't call to defend that, so I can say it all I want. So here's the story. So she started listening to the show. Lucky me. And of course she tunes in last night when I was telling a story about something I did as a teenager that she didn't know about. You see, but listening, she found out all these years later. And you think at this point she's just going to be like, you know, oh, did you really do that?
You crazy
My
kid.
Crazy kid, I can't believe. No, not at all. She called me up. She goes, I was listening to your show last night. I'm like, good. That's good. I'm glad to know that you're being supportive of what I do.
She's taking an interest in your life.
Taking interest in my life. Love that. No, not in this situation. She didn't know. Remember I told you, the story I told you, all she knew is that she caught me in her house with a friend, with a female friend. The friend was downstairs passed out drunk. I was upstairs passed out drunk. So she
At 13.
No, I wasn't 13. I was like 17.
And you had jumped a fence and cut your leg and you were bleeding. And
Right.
they thought the neighbors
climbed in the window.
The neighbor thought you were burglars, and so they called the cops and called
and I
your
forgot
parents.
to tell you,
and-
you know, and I forgot to tell you the best part of the story is I reached in my pocket the next morning and my keys were in my pocket.
Oh, you thought-
So I had my keys the whole time.
So you
I didn't have
need
to
to
climb in
through the window.
I didn't need to climb through the window. But my mom didn't know what we'd been doing all night. She just knew that, you know, there we were in her house. So she found out last night what we'd been doing. And she called me up and she was like, you're such a terror. I can't believe it. You know, I wish I can ground you. I wish she was still like really, really upset.
That was 20-some years ago.
I know.
And then she said, let me talk to Sean.
And the funny thing is, you know, when you're a kid, they send you to your room. As an adult, they cut you out of their will.
Oh, which is much worse.
Yeah. So she, you know, she was really upset with me. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm apologizing for something I did like, you know, 15 years ago, whatever it was. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so many years later. So I figured it can't just be me. What have you kept from your parents that you want to get off your chest? What is something? Because I have to say, part of it for me, when she was yelling at me, I was cursing the two of you, of course, because you got me to tell that story. And I was like,
didn't.
No.
You volunteered it.
Yeah.
Anthony, that Chad, how dare they? But, this isn't my mother calling, right?
I hope so.
Oh, no.
That would be awesome.
That wouldn't be awesome.
That would be awesome.
No, it would not be awesome. If it's Cooper's mom, you have the wrong number.
No, put her on immediately.
This is not the Cooper Lawrence Show.
I'll give her the hotline. I'm going to email Sean the hotline right now.
No, please don't. Please don't. So, yeah. So my mom is very upset with me. And
You're
was
actually
very-
scared right now.
I really am. Please tell me it's not my mother on the phone.
It's not. Okay.
Oh, thank God. Okay. But the thing is, so she learned all this stuff about me last night that she did not know. But there was a side of me that it felt cathartic to get it off my chest, to finally say to her, I've been holding this from you all these years. Here's where I was that night. I was at a party. We were underage. We were drinking. There you go. You know, which I'm sure she probably figured out on her own. But she
didn't know.
She didn't know.
No.
You know, and while she was mad, it's better that she's mad now that I'm an adult with my own life who's married, as opposed to being mad again when I was 17, because, you know, they just keep grounding you over and over. So there's something kind of cathartic about it. I didn't feel so bad. And then I thought, you know, maybe we'll use this as an opportunity. What is it you've kept from your parents? So you want to get it off your chest. You've been holding the secret all these years. It'd be so nice to just tell somebody. And maybe you don't want to tell your mom or dad yet, so we're here. You could tell us. 877-6-Cooper. Anthony, do you have something?
I'm not saying anything anymore.
Anthony!
No,
Why?
my parents would go out of town about once a month, and every time my parents would go out of town, we would throw the biggest parties you have ever seen at my house.
And they didn't know.
They had no clue.
They didn't know?
We would pay off the neighbors so they wouldn't say anything to my parents.
And they didn't say anything? The neighbors
They never said anything to my parents.
And your parents came home and the house was completely how they left it?
We had a whole party after the party to clean up the house.
Oh, God.
But one time they almost they this close to catching us, so they come home a day early.
Uh-oh.
They can't do that to us. They're supposed to come home on Sunday. We clean it up Saturday. They came home Saturday morning.
Oh.
Still beer bottles, cans, everything.
Break dancers.
Break dancers, everything in the front
Cardboard.
yard. My brother is upstairs with a girl in his bed.
Oh, no.
And my parents come home. It was just, and I wasn't there. I was gone. I was at one of my other friends' house because I didn't get the wrath of it. I got it when I got home, but at least I didn't get the onslaught of the whole wrath of the parents yelling.
Now, are there things that you've never told them that you've told them recently?
That's one of them. I mean, because my mom would have rooms in the house that we can't touch. It's like there'd be
the museum rooms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she would spend this big money on furniture, but we couldn't even walk in there because it was just for show. We would end up taking all the furniture out of that room and putting a band in there.
Oh, no, Anthony. I don't know how they didn't catch you.
I don't know.
It's amazing.
And my parents listen to this show, so I'm going to get it as soon as I get home.
Now, Cindy.
Yes.
Now, what's something that we're providing a public service here. What's something you'd like to get off your chest that you did as a kid that your parents do not know about?
Well, my parents don't know about it, and they never will because they've both passed on. And my band teacher didn't know about it, and he's gone, so I figure I'm safe.
You're safe to finally tell the tale. Let's hear.
Yeah. Well, it was in 1973. The band was marching at the Indianapolis 500. And after we got done marching in the opening parade and everything, I met some friends. I was not quite 17, and they were both freshmen in college.
Uh-huh.
And I got really wasted at the Indianapolis 500 so bad that when it was time to go back to the bus, I couldn't find it.
Oh!
And
all those yellow school buses look the same.
Yeah, they did, and there were how many bands there, you know? Anyway, I was stumbling my way back, and I fell, and I hurt my leg so bad. I really think I probably broke it because it swelled up so big I couldn't hardly walk on the front of my shin. It was just like the size of a softball on the front of my shin.
Wait, so when you got home, how did you explain your injury?
You know what? I didn't tell. My sister was in the band, too, and I finally found the bus. I mean, it was like 2 minutes before the bus was leaving. And I got on the bus. I thought I got on the wrong bus, though, because I got on the bus she was on, and she was my older sister.
Oh, no.
and I get that older sister look like,
she knows.
Boy, are you dead? I was so drunk. I mean, I don't know I've never been drunk like that again in my life. And I walked on there, and she looked at me, and I have blood running down the front of my leg, and I'm covered in mud where I fell in the dirt trying to find my way back to the bus.
Oh, my God. And she never told on you? She didn't tell?
No, she didn't. She was a sweetie.
That's a good sister.
She was like Miss Goody Two-Shoes, but, I owed her a lot for the rest of my high school career.
Oh, yeah.
And the band director, nobody suspected anything? They couldn't smell anything on you or anything?
Well, you know what? I got on that bus, and I went back to the back seat, and I woke up on the floor of the bus. the band director had... He wasn't there at the time, and he didn't find me because they had 4 guys that were missing that they couldn't find.
And that distracted them.
And when they showed up throwing up, and I guess maybe I shouldn't tell this, but I understand, they had like a U-Haul van that they hauled a lot of the instruments and things in.
Right.
Those kids rode home in the back of the U-Haul.
Oh, my God. And that was way worse. Yeah, musicians, they party, even if they have an oboe. Doesn't matter. They party.
I have some band trip stories.
I bet you do. Hey, Amanda, how are you?
I'm fine. How are y'all?
We're good. Now, what do you want to get off your chest? What have you never told your mom?
Oh, I'm taking this one to the grave with me. When I was giving birth to my first child 7 years ago, The doctors and nurses told my mother I was having a stroke and she had to leave. And it was completely untrue. It was just to get her out of the room.
Stop it.
No.
Why? Why'd you want her out of the room? Was she driving you crazy?
I was having like a really hard labor, and she is a very controlling woman. She's making my blood pressure go through the roof.
Oh.
They were like, how are you going to tell her to leave? I said, I can't. So they did.
I love it. I love that you were in cahoots with the doctors.
Yeah, and the only people who know now are my husband and my sister and I, and we are so not telling her.
Well, we know now, too.
Everybody that's listening.
Everyone
And she
listening
lives
to the
in
show.
Massachusetts, so I can say this.
Hey,
Excellent.
Tonight is our first night in Massachusetts.
Yeah, we just launched in Massachusetts tonight. Every station in Massachusetts. No, just kidding. That's great, Amanda.
Sorry. Take care.
So if you have, what are you playing? What is that?
Mother by Pink Floyd.
Oh, good.
Love this song.
That's good. 877-6-Cooper is the number. We're talking about, So, hi, Greg.
Hello, how are you?
Now I hear there's a Frisbee incident.
Well, yeah, this isn't just from our parents. This is from the Houston, Texas Police Department.
Go.
There's a overpass a couple miles down from the intersection of Kirkendall and 1960 in Houston, Texas, and it's goes over a bayou. And it's a very high bank, and there's dirt there, and there's some ramps on the side, and you can drive your car down there, and kids will just hang out there. So one night, I guess several people there, more than a dozen, about 3 different high schools, and Whammo at one time had this Frisbee where you put a 9-volt battery underneath it and have these little LEDs that light up on the outside. When you spin it, you've got this light ring. So, and we were drinking too, and we thought it'd be kind of neat to throw this Frisbee over this 4-lane thing from both sandbanks.
Seemed like a great idea at the time.
Yeah, So we're throwing this thing back and forth, and we hear cars screeching, and we hear metal smashing, and everybody freaks out and just takes off, and like the next day in the paper, there was this 3-car accident, and there was a report that somebody saw a UFO.
Oh, no!
And there was a lot more cars involved. Only 3 of them actually hit each other. Thank God nobody was hurt, but the police were all over the place, and ambulances, and I swear we're going to go to our graves. I don't know if anybody's ever said anything. We never got in trouble. They never found out. As far as I know, it's still an open case.
Oh,
and we graduated high school, and nobody said a word. I mean, just not a word, because everybody was afraid they literally were going to get arrested.
Now, were you looking over your shoulder for like years afterwards?
We were kind of wondering who would finally crack.
Right. Who was the weakest of the group? Who was the weakest one?
There's always somebody who wasn't drunk who wants to look like a hero.
Right.
And actually, tonight we'd like to welcome our new affiliate in Houston, Texas.
No. See, I asked about that before I called, because I'm 20 years ago, but I know there's a couple of insurance claims still outstanding.
I think the statute of limitations is probably run out. So I think I would imagine you're pretty safe there. That's great. That's a good one.
Love that.
Hey, Leah, how are you?
Doing well. Hi, Cooper.
Now, what does your mom think?
My mom thinks that I was a virgin when I got married.
Oh. And that probably wasn't the case?
Oh, no, that's definitely not the case. The thing is in high school, we talked lots about sex and all this, and I had told her that I was definitely going to wait. And I was the poster child, in all the religious groups, and I always, and still am very religious and spiritual. But I got married at 26, and I had 3 monogamous relationships between them. And the thing is that my mom brings it up like almost in social situations. It's really uncomfortable for me. And she'll say things like in front of my family or cousins or even friends, and she'll say, I'm just so happy that Liz decided to wait. It just causes, so much less stress that she decided, to wait, and I'm glad that Leah did too. And we are all just very uncomfortable by it. I want to say, I'm not a virgin.
I love it. I think that's something your mother's like, she was a virgin till she was married. Like 9 guys in the room going,
Yeah. And where does Mom live today?
In South Carolina. So we'll find out tomorrow if she's listening.
Oh, well, I have some very bad news for you. Well, I'm glad we did this tonight and not next week.
Exactly.
I know. Hi, Dee. How are you?
I'm great.
Now, what's this hole-in-the-wall incident you got going on?
Well, when I was in junior high, me and my friends used to wrestle all the time. Get finished watching wrestling, then start wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were wrestling one night, and it was wrestling pretty hard, and we put a hole in the wall like the size of a small person.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, this hole was huge. I was like, oh, my God, what are we going to do? And so my friend went home, got some putty, about 6 fans, and we filled it all the way up. It dried it. My mom was like, supposed to be home like an hour, so we were hoping to God it'd be dry by the time she got there. She got there, we ran all the fans out the back door and everything, and I set the chair up right there on the hole. And so I pretty much got away with it. And then like a couple of weeks later, my mom came home tired, just plopped down in the chair and put the hole right back in the wall.
Oh, no.
And you said, Mom, look what you did.
Look what you did, Mom.
And I put it on. I said, you put a hole in the wall.
Oh,
no. And to this day, she still thinks she put the hole in the wall.
Hey.
I love to this day she thinks she did it.
Well, she had grounded me for like 2 years straight one time, so I figured I'm not trying to get that again.
Right, I hear ya. Now, how old are you now?
I'm 26.
Do you think she'd try to ground you now?
Probably.
I wonder, what's the statute of limitations on getting grounded?
Never.
Never, right? You can always get grounded. My mother was really upset after she heard my story last night. She's ready to ground me all over again. Really, she's going to guilt me until the day I die. That's how she's going to do it now, since she can't officially ground me. She can't even say, go to your room. I live in a room.
Exactly. I'm here.